So hey guys, today I will be explaining about the Fizz Buzz problem. The Fizz Buzz is one of the basic problem, like if you're applying for a job but as an entry-level developer. So it's like the first question like people ask you in an interview. So yep, let's get into it. So yeah, I'm gonna use a language called Ruby. So it's something which you use in your backend. And like if you're starting off for programming, I recommend you learning Ruby or Python because it's easy to learn. So yeah, this is the question, the fizz buzz. So print all numbers from 1 to 100. If a number is divisible by 3, print out fizz. Else if a number is divisible by 5, print buzz. Else if a number is divisible by both 5 and 3, print out fizz buzz. Print a fizz buzz, or else print the number itself. So I hope you guys know the basics of programming. So I'll be using something called while loop here, or infinity loop, and then I will be using the if else condition for this problem. So yeah, I'm gonna use a language called Ruby. So first step, I'm gonna declare a variable here, say num equals 1. Okay, I'm just declaring an variable, and like an integer of num equals 1. So uh, yeah, I'll use something called while loop here. So while, and you will do the condition and then end. So this is the syntax for while loop. So say for example, if num is lesser than equal to 100, print out num equals num plus 1. So what this line of code is going to do is it's just going to print numbers from 1 to 100. So say the first line I'm giving num equals 1. So, okay, so if 1 is lesser than equal to 100, it's going to print out the num, and it's going to increment it by 1. So it loops over here again, and now the num's value is equal to 2. So it's getting incremented, so it's equal to 2, and this num goes on to the loop here, and 2 is lesser than equal to 100, so it's gonna print out 2, and it's gonna get incremented by 1. Now num's value is equal to 3, and it's gonna loop again. So this thing is gonna repeat itself until it reaches 100. So if I run this code now, so it's gonna print from 1 till 100. Okay, so what we want is, so if you see over here, so instead of 3, so like the numbers which are divisible by 3 should be fizz instead of the number, and the numbers which are divisible by 5 should be as buzz instead of the number. Say for example 3 and 6 and 9 are divisible by 3, so instead of the number it should be printing out fizz. And the numbers which are divisible by 5, say for example 5, 10, leave it 15, and you take 20, so these numbers should be printed out as buzz instead of the number. And the number which are divisible by both 5 as well as 3, say for example 15. Okay, so 15 is divisible by both 5 and 3, so instead of printing out the number, we need to print out fizz buzz instead of the number 15. Okay, and if you come down over here, and if you take 30, so since 30 is divisible by both 5 and 3, we need to print out fizz buzz instead of the number 30. Okay, so I'm going to use some if else conditions over here. Okay, so if num is divisible by 5, like if num modulo 5 is equal to 0, and I can use this thing here, and num module 3 equals 0. Okay, so I'm using an AND operator here. So AND is like if both conditions are true. So if this condition over here and if this condition over here, if these two conditions are satisfied, then I'm gonna do something underneath it. So print out Fizz Buzz. Okay, so if these conditions are true, it's gonna print out Fizz Buzz. So instead of else if, like we use something called else if in Ruby. So else if, I'm gonna give the condition if num is divisible, like modulo 5 equals 0, or wait, 3 equals 0, we need to print out as fizz. I'm going to use an else condition here. So if num modulo 5 equals 0, print out buzz. Alright, else print num end. So this is the concept here. So if num is like if the number is like divisible by both 5 as well as 3, it's gonna print out fizz buzz instead of the number. Or else if the number is divisible by 3, it's gonna print out only fizz. Else if the number is divisible by 5, it's gonna print out buzz. Else if it doesn't satisfy all the 3 conditions over here, it's just gonna print the number itself. Okay, so I come over here and I'm incrementing the number by 1, and then it keeps on looping until it reaches 100. So if I hit run now, it's gonna print out the output here. So if you see the output here, so since 3 and 6 are divisible by 3, it's printing out fizz instead of the number. And since 5 and 10 are divisible by 5, it's printing out buzz instead of the number. And since 15 is divisible by both 5 as well as 3, it's gonna print out fizz buzz. If you come down to 30, it's gonna print out fizz buzz as well instead of the number 30. So yeah, it's gonna go until it reaches 100. So 100 is divisible by 5, so it should print out fizz for 100. I'm sorry, buzz for 100. So since it's divisible by 5, it should print out buzz. So yeah, Fizz Buzz is like one of the basic interview problems you guys get for, like, if you are applying for a job as a computer programmer or a junior level developer. So this is the first and basic foremost problem you guys will be asked in the interview process. So make sure you guys learn this problem called Fizz Buzz, and yeah, I coded in a language called Ruby, but you guys can like code in whatever language you prefer, but like this is the basic concept. So I'm using a while loop here, and I'm using some conditionals, and I'm incrementing it by 1. Okay, so it's very simple, it's very easy to understand, and once you just like practice, you'll get the hang of it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thanks.